Hello and welcome to my channel today, Boo Snakes and More. Today we're going to be talking about the Enfield monster, so please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And for more videos like this, watch my other house channel, A&A Snakes and Stuff, my youngest son's channel, Henny's Toys and Games, or my oldest son's channel, Little Chris 10. Now let's dive into the video. Strangers in the Night, the Enfield monster case study. It's still a little early for Halloween. The weather hit 98 the other day, but I came across a story recently straight out of a Halloween horror classic. Surprisingly, this didn't occur right around Halloween, as odd things usually do. The setting was Roar, Illinois. The date, April 25th, 1973. One of the strangest events ever chronicled in Enfield, Illinois. The night started off with a boy named Greg Garrett, who had been playing in the backyard around 9 p.m., catching fireflies and looking at the sea of stars. While attempting to catch the next firefly, his pursuits were soon cut off quickly by what is now known as the Enfield horror. While Mr. and Miss Garrett had been watching TV, young Greg burst through the back door, crying and acting hysterically. He began to relive what just happened, a monster about 4 or 5 feet tall, tiny arms with claws, a slimy, gray ependymus, 3 legs with accompanying claws, and big red eyes the size of flashlights, attacked him. Greg's tennis shoes were torn to shreds, claiming it occurred when the monster ran past him and stepped on his feet. Mr. and Miss Garrett were extremely concerned, as Greg was not known for making things up. They just couldn't wrap their head around what he was telling them. The exact moment the situation was going on, the Garrett's neighbor, Henry McDaniel, and his wife were returning home. They found their 2 children in an absolute panic. The children claimed the thing had tried to break into the house through the door and a window-mounted air conditioner moments earlier. As Mr. McDaniel was listening in disbelief, he heard something, an unusual scratching sound at the front door. McDaniel assumed it was at that moment McDaniel had assumed it was a stray animal and opened the front door. It was at that moment he came face to face with the Enfield horror. He stumbled backwards, slamming the door. Grabbing a flashlight and a .22 pistol, he threw the door back open and got another glimpse of the demon. His description of the grotesque creature was identical to that of Greg Garrett, later telling police it had 3 legs on it, a short body, 2 little short arms coming out of its breast area, and 2 pink eyes as big as flashlights. It stood 4.5 feet tall and was grayish colored. It was trying to get into the house. McDaniel opened fire on the monster, but why he was positive he hit the horror. The bullets did not cause any mortar damage. He stated it hissed like a wild cat and jumped away, covering 75 feet in approximately 3 hops, disappearing past the railroad tracks. McDaniel immediately called the local police, but the Illinois State Troopers showed up on the scene instead. The troopers searched through the area but found no sign of the Enfield horror. They did, however, find scratch marks against the siding, which appeared to be fresh. And scary enough, they found footprints, 3 of them with long claw markings. 2 of the footprints were about 4 inches wide, with the third one being slightly smaller. The troopers were puzzled, as nothing they had seen could have made those footprints. On May 6th, McDaniel was startled awake in the dead of the night by the howling of some neighborhood dogs. He pulled himself out of bed, grabbed a gun, and yanked open the front door. Upon opening, he said he got a better look at the monster. From some distance, negotiating the thistles of the railroad tracks. This time it wasn't in a hurry, it just moved down the tracks. In the days following the odd story, McDaniel felt compelled to tell everyone he could about what he had seen. Before long, droves of monster hunters arrived. Floods of news, trucks, scientists, and curiosity seekers descended onto the town. At one point, the town was becoming such a circus of media frenzy and tourists, the White County Sheriff threatened to arrest McDaniel if he didn't stop talking about his experience. At least 5 hunters were arrested and charged after being a threat to public safety after opening fire on a hairy gray thing. The judge claimed they were simply out to raise hell. One man, Rick Rainbow, who was a news director for WWKI in Komoko, Indiana, claimed to have seen the Enfield horror as well. Him and 3 other men witnessed the horror around an abandoned house not much further from the McDaniel house. Rainbow could not get a clear description of the monster because it was in shadows and had its back towards the men. He did describe it as being gray, 5 feet tall, and stooped over. Rainbow did manage to record the ungodly screams of the Enfield horror, but that recording was not released to the general public. Those cries were heard by others over the next several days, near the railroad tracks close to the McDaniel's house. After that night, the creature jumped over the tracks, this time for good. Just as quickly as the monster arrived, it disappeared, never to be discovered again. In 1978, a case study was opened by a group of researchers who tried to make sense of the situation. The researchers found that no more than 3 first-hand witnesses claimed they saw the actual monster. But since then, their stories have been exaggerated by local news stories and local gossip. It became a bizarre game of telephone where each additional story snowballed into something bigger and more animated. Now, if all these reports are real, why did nobody take any photos of the evidence? The aluminum siding scratches, the footprints, the torn up tennis shoes, or attempt to get any sort of real proof from the monster. Sir, could this be considered a crime scene? Many people who think it was an elaborate hoax to bring tourists into the town could not explain to 2 separate neighbors who told the police the exact same description without conversing with each other first. The marks on the ground also didn't suggest foul play. Why the case remains largely forgotten today, it still is one of the most curious cases. It makes you wonder what really took place down in Enfield. It has not been reported on for almost 40 years, but that's not to say it isn't still out there waiting to terrorize another town. Thank you for watching this video, and peace out till the next one.